crypto pirates. Welcome to your Discord syndicates. FN Hangout. Let's see if I even got sound. Do I have sound, guys? Do I have sound? Somebody tell me. Because the studio has been torn to shreds. It is literally torn to shreds. Can I get it? It's working. I see Milk Tony. Let's see. Yes. Megan Merriam says, yes. We hear you. We're working. Yeah. Okay. Studio's wrecked, guys. Redid the whole thing. I know you can't see it because it looks the same. Lights all off. It's shining up against the sign. Everything's all screwed up. Got a really nice desk now. I got to kind of move the soundboard and some other things. Cable management. Cable management sucks. But, you know, at least the desk is built and in place and the studio is ready to go. So now I just have to tear everything apart again as far as cable management goes and redo all the cabling. Oh, shoot. Let's see here. My validator was off. You got to turn the validator back on, right? There we go. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome, Hexicans. How are you doing this end of the bear market? It's getting time for the holidays, too. Getting real excited for that. All right. Well, this is your show. This is where you get to come on and talk trash, say what you'd like. There's been a lot of interesting stuff going on out there. SEC stuff, Hexican stuff, stuff about Richard, stuff about people in the community. Interesting. Oh, Melf Tony, thanks for that. We have over 50,000 validators. You know what I would like to see also is, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Let's go to the tweets, the X Twitter, the used to be Twitter, now X. I want to check something out here. See if we're Oh yeah, the box sets. The box sets came out today too. How about that? Did anybody get their box sets? I got box sets. Yes. Well, let's say hello to everybody since I don't have anybody coming in yet. Let's do that one more time. Did I put the here's the link, guys. If you didn't, I think SJ put it out there. Let's see if here's SJ just coming up into the, hold on one second. For those of you who don't know, a wild SJ who assisted us on the tour and also is now helping to produce the show and getting everything done in the background and the front, I guess. Yeah. So let's bring SJ up. She's in the back here. Hey, we can hear you now. I can hear you.
You can? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but we can't see you. You're in the dark.
I'm in the dark because I'm driving.
What? Okay.
Don't stream and drive, ladies and gentlemen. It's probably not the best idea.
Drive.
I've done that several times, though. I actually used to do that pretty often.
Yeah, I've done it too. So where are you headed off to this evening?
A birthday party.
Oh, nice.
Hexican's birthday party.
A Hexican birthday party.
Yeah.
Wait a second. I'm in California. They didn't invite me.
Well, you're busy.
You're doing the same thing I'm doing.
You're invited. Come on, let's go. I'll go pick you up.
Man. Nah, that's all right. I don't want to show up where I'm not wanted. All right. Well, anyway, yeah, driving is no excuse for no lighting. What's up with the lighting?
What do you mean driving is no excuse? Like, I can't have my interior lights on. Isn't that illegal?
Not when you're streaming.
That's ridiculous.
You're already doing something illegal.
I don't even know how I would do that if I wanted to.
All right. Well, you got anything to update?
It's not the bus, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's not the bus.
It's not the bus. Let me see. Buttons. Oh, hey, there it is. There I am.
There you go.
Hi.
So what's the update? You got any updates for everybody?
The PulseChainTour.com website is live.
The website is live,
The
everybody.
website is live. Shout out to Black
And our
Hexicans.
dates are up there for the tour, correct?
Yep. January, February, March. We've got a lot more to do. Plan. We are looking at different spaces. If you are in, especially places like Salt Lake City, Twin Cities, Minnesota, we're looking for venues in those areas right now. So really, if there's a big group of y'all and we could get a big gathering out in some city somewhere and you've got a space to host us, let us know, because that gives us a lot of incentive to go to places we might not consider otherwise. So hit myself or Black Hexican up when it comes to that kind of koozie what's it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Am I clipping? Everybody, am I clipping? I'm trying to reset everything here.
Sound good to me.
Because we've got problems in the studio. I have to tear it all apart again tomorrow. I just got it to work tonight, and we got monitors all screwed up and everything else. I got my monitors are on backwards. I can't run the mouse right. So anyway, I'm just getting back into the swing of things after the cruise and getting back home to construction messes and rebuilding the studio. So let me get to the chat and say hello to everybody. Crypto Compassion. Hey, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Elf Tony, of course. Gold Key. Good to have you, man. Good to have you. Mr. DeFi himself. Hextoshi, Robert Kelleher. Evening to you. What's that? Let's mute you out a little bit. You're loud. What's up, Drix? George Chops, make it Miriam. Johnny B, what's up, dude? T-Bird's here. Hey, Echo Builder, what's up? Yes, we're raising the sail. Taurus. Mel Tony's putting in, what do we got here? Oh, yes, the prices. Look at the prices. Pulse 5.3 and Pulse X is a 1.4. Everything's just still going sideways, isn't it? Sean T shares, what's up? AD Bunny, how you doing? Crypto Steve, what's up? Red Bull. Titan's crushing it. Don't miss the opportunity. Titan X. Well, we'll see how Titan X does. Like I said, rooting for all the projects out there, but I am not promoting any of them. Not all that stuff is at your own risk. But DeFi space is getting very interesting. Perpetuals are getting very interesting. Got a lot of cool stuff going on as far as things being built on PulseChain. Now, I know that the Titan protocol is kind of from the community, but not on PulseChain. But who knows? Maybe somebody might build something that would do that. Make it bridge over. Mike Wilson. Boy, look at everybody's talking about the Titan X tonight. But again, like I said, I'm not going to get people all excited about something that I don't know what's going on yet. What's up, Crypto CPT? It's funny. I was talking to somebody from the old neighborhood, remembering back in the 80s and the late in the 70s, the Hoover Groovers. Anyway, you might know what that means, CPT. Yeah, I remember all the old timers that were the Groovers. Let's see, Take Crypto. What's happening? Susie Q, how you doing? Sandy Beach, my lady, welcome. Frank Molina. Hey. Okay, that's a hello to everyone. Other than putting the studio back together and just turning the damn thing back on, we are just absolutely flat as far as price action goes in this supposed bull market start. The regulatory agencies are starting to get very interesting as far as some of the stuff that they are giving up. I think that Grayscale just got, it wasn't really a win, but it was, they're allowed to account the way other assets are accounted, which makes it, I guess, makes them seem more legit. So it's that was a good win, I guess. The SEC says that they served Richard in Helsinki. I don't think he lives in Helsinki, but and the address that they showed was like some kind of a library or something. I don't know. Maybe it didn't look like anything that somebody was living in. Now there was, if you Google Earth that place and you spin around to the side of one of the windows, there were some bears in the window, some teddy bears, and one of them had green laser eyes. I don't know. I'm just saying. I just saw that on that address as I was looking at it. Some of you may or may not have done so. What else? What else news? So the highest of stakes box sets came in. Let me grab that. Hold on one second. All right. So let's do an official unboxing of the highest of stakes box set. Everybody ready for this? So this one here is you got a stack of these, number 15 of 550. There's only 555 of these guys. Now, when you open it up, beautifully done. Look at this. Gold on black on the inside. Director's handbook. This is insider access to the highest. Hey, let's see what this. Oh, look at this. Black and white photos. Kelly Lamont. Oh, look. There's my page. RG the third. We got Big K. So yeah, this is look at guys. It's got Richard Hart. This is nice. This is nice. Some artwork in here. Really cool. Oh, hell, Richard. Oh, okay. So it's like a storyboard. It's actually part of the storyboard. So very cool. Very cool. What else do we have here? The frame of the box. Ooh, it's got a leather case in it. Oops. I have a problem. Hold on one second. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, we got a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Hold on. Live. This is live TV here, guys. Oh, shit. All right, disaster avoided. Sorry, guys. Sorry. All right. So here's a leather case. Ooh, this is nice. Let's pull this out. Put it back together. So this is a leather box, embossed, limited edition box set, only 555 ever made. The official documentary, The Highest of Stakes. And when you open this thing, ooh, there's another board barrier. And then this, ooh, looky here. So I know what these are. These are the actual DVDs. One is a DVD and one is Blu-ray. So this is where all of the material is. Let's open this up. Very cool. Classy. This thing's classy. So this is the Blu-ray. Does anybody even have a Blu-ray maker anymore? Or a Blu-ray player anymore? Oh, wow. This is cool. Check this out. So let's see if we can look at everybody's faces that's on there. Wow. Kaylin, you made the cut. Look at that. Hexo. Is that Hexo in there? Yeah, Hexo's in there. I think that's Hexo. He's not even in the movie. No, that's not Hexo. Is it Hexo? I can't tell. But yeah, look at all those folks. Very cool. Very cool. Let's see if the DVD has the same photos on it. I don't know how I'm going to play it, and then have to figure out how to get a Blu-ray player. There we go. So that's one of them. And let's take a look at the DVD of the DVD and Blu-ray collection. Man, that's tight. That thing goes in there tight. There we go. Anybody else get theirs? Their box sets? If not, there are still a few left. Let's open this one up. I don't know if it's the same. Oh, no, this one's not the same. So this is the Muse storytelling, the official. Oh, this is the documentary. That was the extra. No, that was the Blu-ray. So this one actually, I made the cover of this one. And Kelly and Lamont, Big K, Ramey and Mikey. Look at that. Very cool. Very cool. Now, there's still one more thing in here. Let's see what we got here. All right. I'm going to unmute you, SJ. There, now. Now you're unmuted. Nope. You've got yourself muted. You muted yourself.
Why would you do that?
Yeah. So the box set, very nice, very elegant, all leather box. Now this is the cool part here. This last piece, this is actually an album of the Highest of Stakes official soundtrack. So there was a 40-piece orchestra that was put together to there, everybody see my screen now? 40-piece orchestra put together for the film, and this is the soundtrack of it. Her name was Hannah Perot, I believe. Hannah Perot. And my favorite track, of course, I actually have a track. It's called Enter the Crypto Pirate, RG3. So I have my own track now. Isn't that cool? Isn't that awesome? So if anybody's interested, there are still some box sets. You can go to higheststakes.com, and they still have a few box sets left, I do believe. I don't think they've sold them all out. They're close to it. They have a few. That's it. If you haven't got yours, they're in the mail and they're on their way. I think that maybe, of course, if you're overseas, it's a little while longer. But anyway. That was me. I was muted. Again, this is your show, guys. If you want to come in, I have left the link inside for you in the chat room. Anybody got any questions about the new tour this year or the first event? I think the first event is going to be a tailgate event at the SoFi Stadium in down in San Diego way, and we are going to. Whoops! Wait, I think SJ's trying to say something. Go ahead, say what were you going to say?
Pretty sure SoFi's in LA?
You're right. It's in Inglewood, where I used to live. I even said San Diego. I'm sorry, guys, but yeah, it's at SoFi. SoFi is the new stadium that was built where the old Forum and Hollywood Park racetrack is. So yeah, that's SoFi Stadium down there. So we're going to be having a tailgate party, getting all the Hexicans out there and doing it up.
Yeah.
Now, were you going to update us with anything else, SJ, before you head to
I
your
heard
party?
you're barbecuing. I heard you're going to barbecue at the tailgate party.
Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. I'm going to do another barbecue, maybe make some tacos or something, so that we can at least have some fun.
Don't sleep on RG3's tacos. I'm saying.
Yeah, we did when we had the event in in Arizona. That's when I cooked for everybody instead of taking the VIP out. The captain cooked. So anyway, man, we have not had anybody join FN Hangout in a while. It's been slow going these days. Is the bear market really just jammed everybody up that much? Is that what's going on?
I don't know. I'm trying to get the word out there more. I posted this on Facebook and a bunch of different places, but I don't know. I think I need to get ahead of the game and post it like the day before, because a lot of groups and pages won't allow you to post the day of. Like the moderators have to go through all those things. I think I also want to start posting this on meetup.com because it is technically an online meetup. Mm-hmm. So that's
exactly what it is.
Yeah, I want to see if we can get more eyes from outside the ecosystem and like more guests, like more people that are just interested in crypto in general. That's why if you guys have been looking at the thumbnails for this show, it's changed quite a bit because I'm trying to reach a broader audience for Discourse Syndicate so that we get people that are not, necessarily part of our ecosystem into our ecosystem. It's my sneaky moves.
Well, it's all about outreach. We got to get outside our echo chamber and get the word out on true DeFi, real DeFi, true DeFi being out there finally for the first time ever. And it's getting ready to go into a bull market. One other piece of news that I need to announce is DJ Cryptomatic will be launching his holiday greeting montage, whatever. So be looking out for that. Check out, if you're not following DJ Cryptomatic, go follow him or get on his YouTube channel. He does Twitch. And he's under DJ Cryptomatic. And we'll put a link up. Keep an eye out for that. He gets all the Hexicans to get involved and do a montage, and we do a little holiday thing. And and maybe, just maybe, I'll do the night before Hexmas again this year. See if SJ can help me clean that thing up and we can redo it or something.
Yeah, we gotta get on that real quick if we're gonna do it, because I think he's putting it together this weekend.
Yeah, no, I'll do one this weekend for DJ Cryptomatic and get that out to him. Oh, another thing, I'm an official. Check this out. So I want to give a shout out and a thanks to JFK666. He is my Aussie buddy and supporter of the show. Always memeing me and made me R2G3 or something like that. I forget what it is in his Star Wars saga that he did. But look what he sent me. This is the coolest freaking hat ever. Look at that. Oi!
That's fantastic.
I'm putting shrimps on the barbie, I guess, over at the SoFi Stadium. This thing's got
crocodile teeth?
What's that?
What is on the hat? Are they crocodile teeth?
Yeah, that's crocodile teeth. That's real Crocodile Dundee shit right there. All right. Look at that. Man, you could tell we are so at the bottom. Bottom signals everywhere. Bottom signals everywhere. I'll tell you what. it is about to start getting a knucklehead, mate. Yeah. Is that what that is? A knucklehead? I don't know. Anyway, that's a cool. That's not a knife. This is a knife. Yep. That's the official Crocodile Dundee hat. I am getting so much feedback from you, SJ. Sorry. I got to put you on mute until you can unmute it. Or maybe you mute yourself that way you can unmute it. I don't know if you can do that. There you go. Heading to the party. All right. So anyway, that's what's going on. We've got high as the stakes movies out. The DVD sets are out. The bear market is still in full effect, and not much going on, really. I wanted to see what the Hexicans had to say. I'm excited about some of the things that people are building right now. I'm in a lot of back rooms checking out the PulseChain Foundation with Marlon and what they're doing with that. He's getting some cool stuff done, putting some things together. And he just got back from Puerto Rico. He was out in the big blockchain convention that was out there, and he's getting ready to start moving forward on really getting serious with getting the PulseChain Foundation set up and starting to put some projects in. This Monday, I'm going to be talking to the guys from Project Pi. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're one of the projects that was coming out of the Blockchain Center in Atlanta. And what they've done is that they have created a way to allow people to validate. I guess you would call it like a cloud validator, and not have to put up 32 million pulse. So they're going to create a system where you can do that, and it's pretty cool stuff. And they also developed a validator that was made out of Raspberry Pis. So they took. I actually saw the working models that they had put together, and they're going to be making those available real soon. A couple of cool young entrepreneurs. They were on the cruise with us and did a presentation about their project and what they're doing. So going to be interesting to talk to them on Monday. So yeah, what else have we got going on here other than SEC getting beat up? We're going into election year. Christmas time is here. That's it. It is a boring ass crypto night. Anybody got any questions or anything going on? I'm gonna shut it. Hold on, SJ. I was gonna try and unmute you, but you got yourself muted. If nobody shows up, I'm gonna shut the effing down tonight and go relax. And SJ's on her way to her party, Hexican birthday party that I wasn't invited to, but yeah. I want to see the first Xbox validator.
Hold on.
I don't know.
Hey. Hi.
Hey.
Hi. I wanted to announce that I haven't set it up yet, but I will be hosting a space on Twitter next Thursday at 8:30 Eastern Time. It's going to feature the NFT space. So I'm going to have Mana speak. I'm trying to get Charlie to speak. She's a little shy, but she's been doing some things up in the NFT world. I haven't reached out to Georgia yet, but I'd love Georgia to speak, and Claus. And I'm hoping that Victoria from the Rogue Bunnies will join us as well. So keep your eyes and ears open for that, because there's a lot of really great stuff going on in that space. Next Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's going to be a Twitter space. So I'll be sharing that out real soon here. Just trying to get more eyes and ears on projects that are launching on PulseChain. There's a lot of really great stuff going on with the Tang Gang and what they're doing with NFTs. So I want to see more adoption there and like more people learning about that whole space. I mean, I'm kind of personally doing it for myself so that I can learn a little bit more about all of it in general.
Good. Good. Brings adoption. I know this space is mixed about NFTs. You know, I think that there's use case for them and that people are going to figure out better things to do with them. I mean, look at what Alex did with the Watsas. He used them he made NFT or even his stakes. I mean, using the NFT protocol works. So more use cases. And I think there's something to be said about artists taking their own art into their own hands and distributing it and being able to get residuals off it, whether it be, crypto art or whatever. And people like it. So brings adoption, uses the chain. But I think there's better things out there that can be done. What else? Somebody said, how do you feel about or have an opinion on an internet money wallet? Well, KG, we've been supporting him from the beginning. They've put out their internet money wallet, and they're constantly improving on it and listening to people. I really like the type of project that he's putting out. He's working on it, making it better, making it more, giving it more features for everybody. So, and has been safe. And he's a community member, so I support him 100%. And I've been having trouble with MetaMask, Rabby. I mean, all the wallets. I mean, look at what just happened to Ledger. I mean, that's a problem. I mean, with Ledger losing its security protocol and just wrecking people and getting wallets drained. I mean, that was horrible. Horrible. So, hey, I like KG and what he's doing there. So what else do we have here? Why do you think RH did a sack for Pulse but not Hex? The AA lobby was unique and how it launched and how Hex launched with the AA lobby. So I think, in my opinion, I think that Richard was trying to. I think the sacrifice was a way to, try and comply with whatever opposition the SEC might have to things that look like securities as far as their launches go. So I think that was an attempt. I haven't seen any very successful sacrifices. I don't know what to say about it, to be honest. Not happy with the way the SAC has gone and how long it's taken for us to see any relevant gains from anybody who sacked. But again, when it comes down to it, truly was a sacrifice. Truly was, no expectation of profit from the work of others. So really don't have anything to say about it, to be honest. Would I have liked to seen some gains? And well, of course, but we are in the bottom of a bear market and the weak hands are being shaken out. And let's face it, when it comes down to it, you want all those big bags sold, disintegrated, pissed off, bye, gone. Helps the market to solidify and regulate better as far as the volatility goes. So I don't know. I'm not real big on the sack, but is what it is. Let's see. We got join. What is all that? I'm missing something here. Oh, that's from Twitter. Gotcha. Sacrifice wasn't done back then in 2019. Sacrifices wasn't done back then in 2019. True. I think that there were some other tokens that had kind of experimented. I don't think that it was the first. There were some sacrifices going on. Oh, hey, what's up? Ty Bull, is that famous? Or good to see you famous? I don't know. Hey, we got Dr. the Cryptop on coming in. Hey, what's happening, Doc? How you doing?
Hey, Captain. Yeah, good. I just thought I'd pop in for 5 or 10 minutes. It seems like you're ready to wind up. But good evening, everyone. Hi.
Yeah.
What's happened with me is the last 2 or 3 days I've been trying to line up another bullet to fire into the ecosystem. So,
what are you doing?
Sorry?
What are you doing? You building something?
No, just getting some more fiat into
Oh,
yeah. So
getting
just
ready to make some buys.
trying to scrape it together again. But no, I was just looking at the charts, and there's kind of a mutual friend of ours that's been doing a lot of streaming lately, and he was talking about, and I never even thought about this, comparing. I know this fairly newbie, but the first time I was suggested somebody talking about looking at the ratios like PulseX to Pulse. I'm finding it really useful at the moment when I'm trying to decide which of the 4 products I want to throw some fiat towards. But so I've kind of, I bought tons of PulseX originally at SAC levels, and in fact, I bought so much, my SAC price was under 4 or 3 zeros and a 1. So it hasn't been favorable for me to buy anymore. So I was kind of going into Pulse, but I'm going to fire some off tonight when we finish towards PulseX. Fire another missile into PulseX. Yeah. So, but just one thing that I thought I would, I don't know if I can put a background up once I start streaming.
Probably not. You don't have a green screen. Well, you can do it without a green screen.
You can do it without a green screen. It's just
it's crazy.
Oh, actually, I've got a present thing. Can I do something here or not?
Yeah, you can present. You've got something you want to throw up there?
Yeah. It's just a neurological chart, because I must admit I've been super nervous about putting more money into the ecosystem, and very much like the very first investment I ever made back in 93 when I bought my first house, and it actually ended up being a tumble down house, but it was a great investment in the end. But I remember buying my first house and I basically wanted to vomit. I felt that nervous about it being tied into a mortgage. And like for the rest of your life, and you think, oh my God, it's the rest of your life. So just like for I mean, I know we've got a mixture of people listening in, but like young investors, this may be useful actually, and for old investors. If I can share, what have I got? I just want to pull just a screen, just an image out.
Yeah, just go down to where it says present.
Yeah,
hit the present button, and then it'll tell you what screen you want to show, your whole computer or the screen. Yep, it'll do it for you right there. And then I can bring it up.
Great. But I mean, this is for all investing, and this may go to explain quite a lot of hang-ups people can get. So if we do share screen, because I don't know how to put this image up, but I'll
yeah, you just got to go where it says present down there on the bottom.
Yeah, no, I've got that.
Okay.
Okay.
Once you choose which one, it'll pop up here down.
Tab, window, entire screen.
There you go.
If I go to entire screen, I just don't want to dox myself, which I probably will because I'm a bit of a klutz. Oh, there it is. There it is. Got it. Okay, great. Cool.
There you go.
So you guys can see this. Okay, so what this is the nerve system. I'm a chiropractor. That's my main gig. And this is kind of a neat diagram. It shows you how all the different parts of the spine send signals to different parts of the body, different organs in the body. Now, it's split into 2 sections. One is the rest and digest. Let's see if I can actually zoom in on that. Oh, no, okay. One is rest and digest, which is what we call the parasympathetic system. And the other is sympathetic, or fight and flight. So it has what they call a physiological effect on you. So whenever you make a decision, there's some sort of physiological effect going on. So there's chemicals moving throughout the body. And the easy way to remember the physiological effect, rather than trying to kind of memorize it, is just imagine yourself if you had a bear in the room. If there's a bear in the room about to attack you, that's really what your body's doing in fight and flight, or sympathetic. So, for example, if a bear's about to attack you, in fact, let me ask you, Captain, if a bear's about to attack you, does your heart rate go up or down, do you think?
It goes up.
Yeah, hey, it goes way up, hey. So when you're in sympathetic, your heart rate goes up. And then what about your breathing? Do you think you've got more oxygen or less? More breathing or less?
Oh yeah, more breathing.
Yeah, so more breathing. Your eyes actually dilate so you can get more light in, because obviously you want to see the way out of the room where the bear is. And funnily enough, do you think you can do maths problems when you've got a bear in the room? So your thinking goes down, and this is vitally important.
Yes.
So when we're nervous and we get anxious, our intelligence actually goes down, which is why during the zombie virus, so many people that you know quite close to you, intelligent people, making crazy decisions, because the body's actually in fight and flight, and the energy from the brain goes into other areas, goes to the legs, the major muscles, and we get this adrenaline inside us. We get this, and we start to feel nervous. And so the biggest energy consuming organ is the brain, and then the second biggest is when we are digesting food, which is why when you feel nervous or you're worried about something, you want to vomit, or you feel like you don't want to eat, you're not hungry. Also, you don't feel like sex. So that's why, when we're stressed out, all that goes out the window. So when we're making important decisions like investing money, we want to try and take ourselves back to rest and digest. So we do that by, I'm a chiropractor. When I adjust the neck and the pelvis, that brings people back to rest and digest. But the other sort of things you can do is listen to music, go on holiday, sit on the beach, just try and take yourself away from work and just chill out a bit. And then when you go to make your decisions, you invest in decisions, pressing the buy button. That's why you want to be more in a rest and digest. That's why you want to take yourself more to that kind of place. So obviously in the cold light of day, I made the decision that tonight I was going to press the button, but now it comes time to press the button. My body's going more into that fight and flight. Now, for a health thing, because it doesn't matter how much money you've got, if your health goes out the window, that's game over. Just ask, just ask some of the richest guys in the world. Jobs, just ask Steve Jobs, for example. Does he want another billion? Probably not. He'd probably rather be around, like doing creating still. So it doesn't matter how much money you've got. If you're not looking after your health, that really doesn't matter. So one thing, and actually the most important reason to be in rest and digest, is that when you are in that place, your body's healing. Healing doesn't happen when you're being chased by a bear. Healing happens when you're relaxed, you're sat on a beach, your body's doing the digestion, all that sort of good stuff. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there as another reason that it's a good reason to take time out, get relaxed, and not stress out too much.
Before you hit the buy button.
Before you hit the buy button.
Or the sell button.
Yeah, or the sell button. So the sell button's actually going to be it's when you're in a manic state, isn't it? So that's more of a euphoric state. So in that case, you're probably in the rest and that. Wow, it's actually probably sympathetic, but you've got different sets of chemicals. The kind of funny thing is, you use the same organs. It's the same organs, it's the same nerves. The only thing that's different is the chemicals going down those organs and nerves. So you change the chemicals, you have a completely different change to the result. So I just thought that was unusual. So obviously, probably a lot more adrenaline in the fight and flight stage, and you get euphoric, and there's more of those painkillers going in. So yeah, exactly. Take yourself out, have a cold shower, go for a run. Ironically, running, because in day-to-day society, we've got mortgages to pay, we have bosses to answer to. It's like having a bear chasing you, but you can't get away from it, and it isn't there, and you can't even fight it or run away, which is why actually going out for a run, having some sort of exercise that makes you sweat, makes you pant, makes you move vigorously for 30 minutes to 45 minutes is vitally important. That actually resets it. So basically, you're telling the body, I've ran away from the bear now, and when you've finished, you've actually reset yourself. So your body's not firing completely in that sympathetic system. So that's another good reason to exercise regularly, make that part of your process. Okay. And as you say, before you press the sell or buy buttons. There you go. That was just my little piece.
I've been doing the cold. Well, I haven't done a cold plunge yet. I'm getting ready. I'm going to put one in my yard here, but I've been doing the cold showers. So
Right.
last 4 or 5 days, I've been getting out of the sauna, getting in the shower, showering off, and then turning the cold water on. And then I've been trying to do it in the morning too. It's the most horrendous thing, but it does feel good. That's for sure. After you're done.
Yeah. I think I had about 2 or 3 years of doing that cold showers. I think Coffee was talking about it as well. And I did it for a long time. And I could still, and in the middle of Canada when it was -30, having a cold shower. And the weirdest thing, people back home in England will say, you don't get wet because if you get wet, you're going to get a cold. But, I did that for 2 years straight. I never had a cough or a cold. I mean, my immune system seemed awesome. So there's definitely some, fake news around what causes coughs and colds. Mm-hmm. Have you seen Wim Hof? Have you seen him?
Yeah, it's the Wim Hof that I've been looking into. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, in fact, Hexo was talking about that last year. He was doing a lot of cold showers and getting into an ice bath, and I tried that here for a while, and you couldn't actually break the ice anymore. The ice was too thick.
Forget that. I mean, I'm gonna get a cold plunge because here in Cali we don't have ice. Ice in our water. Every once in a while we'll freeze, but it's like a rare occasion that we get a freeze or a chill like that. But I'm going to get a cold plunge, and I've got a jacuzzi already, so I'm going to do the hot, the cold. I do the sauna, do the hot, the cold, and it's actually helping my back. Lately I've been in a pretty good shape. I've got all these bad discs, but lately I've been doing pretty good.
You talk about you as a bunch. I mean, I'm not here to pump business or anything, but you got a good guy, haven't you? You got a good chiropractor, yeah? Have you got one? If you haven't, I'll find you a really good one. I got guys all over the world. I mean, literally all over the world I can get hold of.
Well, my chiropractor's moving to Tennessee, so I'm losing him like in a month or two. And I have a massage therapist that I go to every week that she works on, my back. And but yeah, I am going to need a new chiropractor out here in California.
I obviously got an ongoing list of things. There's so much I wanted to do that I haven't done already for the community. But my daughter's just come back today from England. She's been in England for 6 months. She's playing for a professional soccer team there. So nice. She's a minor. So my wife's also over there with her. She's coming back in a week's time. So there's so much I wanted to do, but anyway, I just haven't got around to it just yet. So, but sorry, the point I was going to make is it'd be kind of neat because it's all right me appearing. I don't want to dox myself, and I don't particularly. And this isn't about chiropractic. This is about crypto. But it would be nice if perhaps I'll make a video of how to find yourself a good chiropractor in the area that you live in, like kind of. But anyway, I need to first of all.
Yeah, I mean, we've always talked about health here on Discourse Syndicate. We because I mean, how are you going to have 15-year stakes if you can't make it to them? You know what I'm saying? So you got to
exactly.
Hey, we got another Hexican showing up here. Hold on a second.
Oh, cool.
What's happening, Jody? How you doing?
RG, what's up, man? How's it
Not
going?
much. Good to see you.
Figured I'd stop in, man. And see if we can get some life in the Hex community.
Well, it's come on, man. We've been in a bear market for the last couple of years, so it's been hard to get everybody fired up, get the numbers going, get everybody excited. I mean, I went on tour and it was, when crypto is down like this, it's lackluster, and that's just the way it is. When we're up, man, it's just everybody's excited, everyone's having a good time. We're all talking about different things. I mean, right now we're like the exciting news is Coinbase is suing the SEC, right? I mean, it's like, what fun. Finally, at least they, I guess what did Coinbase do? They asked for regulatory the regulatory rules to be clarified to them, and the SEC said no, we're not going to tell you what the rules are. I mean, it's just blatant. And then, so now Coinbase has sued the SEC saying they won't tell us what the rules are. I hope they win that one. That's That's one that needs to be won so that at least they could start saying, hey, here's where the goalposts are versus now we're just going to start slapping handcuffs on people and charging them fines. That's just ridiculous. But anyway, that's the only stuff that's going on out there right now is just garbage. Oh, and I think the BRC20s failed. Those don't work anymore. So one more time, Bitcoin has something that failed to make it any better. So sorry about that, Bitcoiners. Oh, you too, Brasology. My buddy Brasology's upset about his Bitcoin.
It's old tech, right?
Yeah, it's old tech.
We got new tech.
We got new tech. We got real new tech. I mean, this DeFi space is about to get real exciting. Really exciting. Guys like you out there making stuff.
Well, it should get interesting for Hex. But I have a little saying I like to say that cryptocurrencies are only as useful as they're used or as they're adopted. So we actually need to use what we have in front of us. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we have a tool in front of us right now that we could use, and it's an automatic marketing tool. So I've been trying to get that out there.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about it. I've allowed you to speak to your project on here.
Oh, it's definitely not my project. It's everybody's project. It's your project. It's Wild SJ's project. It's my project. It's a project that's owned by the community. So everybody owns it already if you're a Hex staker. So I've been talking about this on X. I don't like calling it X, but I've been talking about this, and it is a tool we can use to automatically market Hex, and everybody owns it already, and it's called COMM. Yet it gets no support, and it's funny to me. So everything we've ever wanted as a community, we've wanted marketing, and when it's here in front of us, just within our arm's reach, I think we should grab it.
Well, I think the problem is, Joni, is when new products or new cryptos come to the space here, the majority of Hexicans are leery of anything, as I am too. But it's the ones that stand the test of time. It's those that don't rug pull. It's those that don't, sit there and promise and never show up. It's those things that, stand the test of time that deserve to be spoken to. I mean, tell everybody what it is and how they get it. I mean, nobody has to really go out and just buy it. It's just free to stakers, right?
Yep. So, yeah, everybody should be aware of this already, because if you like free money, you've claimed it in the past already. Would you like me to share my screen?
Yeah, if you want to share your screen, you can share your screen.
All right, let's do that. So I kind of presented this to the community late October, and yes, it was like the end of October. I presented it to the community, and really, I'm surprised that when we have the kind of power that we have now, which is the marketing that we've wanted. Yeah, it's interesting to me, because so you talk about the test of time, right? Mm-hmm. But this thing's already been around since January, and it's withstanding the test of time already. It's got a price chart that goes up versus Pulse and up versus Hex. So I'm gonna show you a few things.
Hey, real quick, I'm gonna head out. I've arrived at my destination.
Have fun. Tell them thanks for the invite.
So salty. All right, y'all. Enjoy your evening. Thanks for coming.
Have fun.
All right.
I'm off as well, Captain. I got to get ready for the
Doc.
morning. I'm going to buy some stuff now. Buy some.
All right. Thanks for coming by and educating us a little bit on our spines.
Thanks for letting me share. Super appreciate it. I'm just going to drop you a thing in the private chat.
All right, cool. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Ciao.
See ya. All right, John. Let's see it, buddy.
Okay, let's see.
All right, let's pull that up. So this is a chart. Green and red candles.
So this
into
is
the
the
right.
chart versus Hex since the PulseChain launch
Okay.
back in May.
This is COMM, right?
This is COMM.
Okay.
And so it has a real hard time going down, and you have to ask yourself why. Why does it struggle to go down? And it's because this thing is scarce, but scarcity alone, it's not really gonna be enough to stop something from going down, because really what sends something down, and by the way, I think this is a misconception within the community. There's a lot of negative sentiment, and a lot of blame goes around about sellers, is what I hear often.
You know, that's one thing everybody needs to. I mean, anybody who's complaining about people selling crypto needs to get real with themselves, because it's not about holding everything forever, guys. Everybody sells the things that they buy if they want to make money off of it. Period. End of story. I've always had a problem with people who bitch and cry and complain about sellers. Red candles exist because people are taking profits. And one day you will too. Maybe. If not, you're doing it wrong. If you haven't made a red candle, you're doing it wrong. So
yeah, in particular, they think it's malicious selling, right? They think there's some hater out there who owns a lot of Hex, who's like, every time this thing goes up a little bit, I'm hitting the button and forget about it. I just want to dump on everybody's heads. And I think that's a big misconception. You know, I know there's wallet trackers out there, and you have like Silver the Antidote, who will look at the chain analysis and things like that. But at the end of the day, I mean, the market is the market, and this isn't working any differently from any other coin. It's, you know, we don't have something different about Hex that other coins don't have, in the sense of like malicious sellers, right? Because it is true. I know, like, you know, it is true that when you have big wallet holders, at any time, somebody can send it to zero. Somebody has that power.
Of course.
But the problem with that way of thinking is that if that big seller does come around and send it to zero, technically, then what happens right after that is what really matters. And usually when you look at a price chart and you see somebody come and knock a price chart down way below what it should have been trending at, it just ends up being a wick to the downside, because everybody sees that now there's a lot of value there that somebody left on the table. So if there was really, like, if it was really about sellers, but we still have all the great fundamentals and things working for us, then any sellers should just they should be irrelevant, basically, because the buyers should take that over. And that's why things work in cycles, right? Because you basically go up until you run out of buyers, and then you go down until you run out of sellers. But there was always sellers the whole way up as well.
The smart ones.
So I think this misconception needs to be kind of resolved, or kind of change the mindset of everybody.
More so than that, educate everybody on what this is. You can talk about a crypto on a chart all you want, but if they don't know what it is, then, because I don't talk about it here. I know it's a free token. I know that you guys are, or that it's working on helping to market the products. So why don't you explain that so that everybody can kind of understand what it's really about?
Sure. So we've got the price chart up already, right? Now, the marketing is going to be based on this price. Okay. So this is not the price in USD. This is the price versus Hex. And so I'm going to unhide some stuff I got here, and I'm going to turn off log, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Okay. So I hope that's visible. There's no way to make that resolution any better, but what you see here is a bunch of coupon rates. That's what I'm calling it. Okay. Now, where you can see us at on the price chart right now is that we're at the first line here, which is a 5% coupon rate. Okay. Now, there's kind of like a stair step in, 5% at a time. going from 5% all the way up to 100%. And the way this works is you get to claim COMM for free, right? And I'm just gonna roughly talk about this right now, because I think sometimes in raw form things come out. We can kind of like have conversation about it and things like that. But this is really important for the community, and I'm going to be working on fleshing things out. So when I initially presented this, I had like a full form presentation. You can look at my channel on YouTube, Johnny Sachs, search it on YouTube. You can go to my X page at Johnny Sachs and look through my highlights tab, and you can get a lot of this information. So I had like this full presentation that I went through, but what I'm realizing is that it needs to be fleshed out a lot more for the user. So there's a lot of work that's going to be going on in the background in the next few months. Going to be working on getting a third-party website ready for this. And I'm going to basically be working on distilling the message down for the users. But what we're looking at here, if we can get this price, basically the higher this price goes and the closer you get to this last line, which is the 100% coupon rate, if it gets to the 100% coupon rate, what that means is anybody who creates a 555 stake in Hex would end up getting that stake for free. And the reason that that is something you'd want to do is because when you're at that point, what you essentially end up doing is automatic marketing, because you can basically hand out 15-year stakes for free. So we have a long way to go, but if you look at the way the price has been trending, we started out way below 5%. We came up to the 5%, but because this thing is low liquidity and it's actually easy to push the price up, the price actually went all the way up at one point to the 30% coupon rate. So it's already showing you the potential that we're capable of getting there. And it did that with no support right now. Like this coin doesn't really get any volume. There's not much trading volume on it. So there's basically a lot left on the table here. So one of the things is, everybody plays around with different coins, meme coins, a lot of different coins on PulseChain that people would like to play with, and you'll see the trading volume on those things. And what I'll think to myself is, why would we see trading volume on those things that don't benefit Hex when we can have trading volume on something that benefits Hex? So
explain that, Johnny.
So let's explain how this works, right?
Yeah.
So this is where I'm going to bring up a spreadsheet here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's talk about it. So this is a spreadsheet that's going to cover, how this works, right? You have the price of COMM, you have the price of Hex right here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the price of COMM and the ratio of its price versus Hex,
Mm-hmm.
and based on the T-share rate, which I have here, it's not updated, so it's based on the T-share rate of 30,142. Okay.
Close.
So based on that, you end up with a coupon rate. Okay. That coupon rate, I have it in bold here. It's saying 4.7% right now. So that's the current coupon rate, 4.7. Now, in column D, we have the number of years someone's going to stake, or the number of days. So I have days and then I have years in this column, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have a coupon rate. So it's the highlighted column for each of those. So basically I can stake Hex for 1 year. That would be this right here. If I staked it for 1 year, what am I getting back? I'm getting in COMM, okay, as a reward for that stake, I'm getting nothing, 0% back, but it's actually 0.038%, right? Okay, but if I stake it, so that was if I staked it for a year. If I stake it for,
and Johnny, is that on a new stake?
New stake, but also, stakes that already exist can also claim this if you haven't already.
So existing stakes can go claim free COMM.
Existing stakes can go claim free COMM, and new stakes. And the focus of this whole plan that I put together is actually based on it's based mostly on the legacy stakers that already exist, because what happens is they become a liability. So if you imagine that no stakes already existed currently, then there would be no liability, because there's no free money that's already being given out to people who already were in the Hex system.
Mm-hmm.
So since they're getting the free money, they become a liability, and you need to clear that liability out. And so I have some numbers we can talk about once I get more into it.
So the system doesn't take those stakers out of the pool eventually. They're always could claim. Doesn't matter how long they wait to claim.
You have, the way it works is you have a start bonus. So you get you get to claim for free for starting a stake, and then you get to claim again when your stake matures. So
okay. So stakes that exist can claim when a stake matures.
Stakes that exist can claim the start bonus. So they can already claim right now, even if it's a 15-year stake that you already had, you can already claim the start bonus, which should end up being 25% of the total bonus. Okay.
Okay.
And then at the end of your stake, when it matures, you get the other 75%.
Gotcha.
Okay. So this column here, this yellow column, where I'm calling the start coupon, it's based on the start bonus. So when it's based on you starting your stake.
Okay.
So that
right goes up in conjunction with what?
So you're saying the coupon rate goes up?
Coupon, in conjunction. What makes the coupon rate go up?
It goes up based on how long you're staking and how high the price of COMM is versus Hex.
Okay.
So you can see, like, if you staked 1 year, you're getting almost nothing back. But if you staked for 5555, that last row, you end up getting 4.7% back. Now for the start bonus, the 5555 staker gets, and I've misquoted this before because I was basing it on the max, the total reward, and I was saying it was a 50x difference, but it's actually for the start bonus. But the 15-year staker gets 100 and I believe it's about 120 times more COMM than the 1 year staker. So there's a huge difference in how much COMM you're going to get for staking 15 years versus what you're going to get for 1 year. And the difference between staking 15 years and staking 10 years is actually a 3x difference. So the 15-year staker actually gets 3 times more COMM than the 10-year staker.
Oh, wow.
Now that disproportionate reward, that's what makes this powerful, because what happens is you're not just linearly paying out based on the stake length. You're giving the rewards exponentially to the longer stakes. So because of that, because of the fact that you can give so much more to the long stakers, you're actually setting up a system where you make it so that you're almost brute forcing, if this gets adoption and if it actually rewards people for it, they're going to have to think twice about how long they stake. And they're almost going to be guaranteed, when they're having that second thought based on the COMM reward that they can get, it's going to almost guarantee that they're going to stake longer than they would have initially, because that reward is going to compensate for the difference in what they were. So, if they were going to do a 5-year stake, for example, but then they look at the COMM reward that they can get on a 10-year, then that could influence them to go ahead and make the 10-year stake instead of the 5-year stake. And it's very likely to do that because it's going to be very transparent what they're able to get.
Yeah, so so you say that it hasn't been getting a lot of adoption, or what's the liquidity pools looking like? I don't know what it's.
So on PulseX, the liquidity pools are very low, but there's the other platform we have, PHUX. Now PHUX is where I would encourage everybody to go to provide liquidity, and that's actually this whole thing. I'm calling it the secret weapon. There's a bunch of pools on PHUX called the secret weapon pools, under the ticker SWPN. And when you search for PCOM, when you filter PCOM from those pools, you'll be able to find those pools. And I have one pool for each coupon rate. So there's a pool for the 5% coupon rate, then another pool for 10%, then 15%, all the way up to 100%. And what those pools do is if you join the pool according to the coupon rate, you are minimizing your risk while supporting the system that does the marketing for Hex. So I can show you those pools on another screen.
So what's the marketing plan? Who's doing it and what's going on with it?
That's the thing. So it's automatic. So all it needs is liquidity.
Okay.
Nobody's doing it. Everybody who is supporting the system with liquidity is doing it. And
so
liquidity
it's the coupons that's the marketing?
The liquidity does the marketing automatically. So right now we're at a 5% coupon rate, for example, and there's a liquidity pool that's supporting that 5% price right now. It has about $50,000 of liquidity in it. And yeah, so right now that $50,000 of liquidity in that pool is supporting the 5% coupon rate. So if the 5% coupon rate was enough to incentivize a 15-year staker to go ahead and stake, if it was enough to incentivize a staker to stake for 15 years, then what would happen is they're going to need to stake Hex in order to claim that 5% reward. But then you look at, and this is where the key point comes in, if you look at how much Hex they're staking for 15 years just to capture that reward, it's a 20x difference between the 5% and the 100%. That 20x difference means that they had to stake 20 times as much Hex as what they're going to get back in reward.
So here's the issue that I have with all of this is that when I look at Hex in a 15-year stake, and when I think of what it means and what it is to the rest of the real world. Now, I'm not talking about Hexicans or devs or guys that, mess with perpetuals and do all this cool, tricky ass shit in crypto, right? I'm talking about the normal, average, everyday person out there that we need in this space in order to get mass adoption, in order to get regulatory off of our backs and doing the right thing, because there's massive amounts of people in here versus this little small subsect of intelligent people that live in their mom's basements in crypto. What is this going to do to appeal to the average everyday Joe, the working guy that needs a 15-year stake, guy that needs one, guy that's got a 401k that's not working for him, guy that's getting beat up by the economy, guy that's working hard every day? How does this entice him to get him into a 15-year stake? Or is there another way to do it? Or how can we simplify this? How can we tell people what this is without getting a spreadsheet like this in front of them, without making it real difficult?
Yeah, that's having
to be a crypto bro to figure this out.
Yeah, that's what I want to work on with a third-party website. So ideally, I would not want to see this spreadsheet out in the public. I was planning on initially putting this out in the public, but what I'd prefer to see is a website that kind of has the forms that you could fill out. And so what you really need to see is you need to see the COMM price, you need to see the Hex price, you need to see the T-share rate, and then you just need to be able to input how many days you plan on staking and see what coupon rate is the current coupon rate. So there's a bunch of ways to simplify it with a good website, and I am going to be working with somebody on a website with that. I'm not a developer myself, so I won't be doing that myself. So just based on doing this with a community and not hiring professionals or anything of that sort. There's no like timeline or roadmap or anything like that, but it is work that we'll be doing in the background. But when it comes to how does this appeal to the regular guy? So So this is all right. So this is the thing, right? I'm gonna skip a little bit here. I'm gonna go down here for a second. And let's hide some of the cute stuff right now. All right, so what this is it's showing you an allocation of how much hex you would want versus how much COMM you would want. And what that does is it puts a perfect balance based on the allocation. So for example, we're at a 5% coupon rate right now. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Okay. So right now we're at a 5% coupon rate. And when you look at this table, what it's saying is, here's the optimal amount of hex to allocate versus the optimal amount of COMM to allocate. And remember, I know we're trying to simplify this. So right now we're at the complicated part, but I'm gonna basically tell you why this would be simple. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's saying if you're at a 5% coupon rate, the optimal allocation in order to balance the amount of reward that the user is going to take from you versus what they're going to give back to you on the hex side. It's saying you would want a 95% allocation to hex and a 5% allocation to COMM. Okay. And what this row here is telling you is it's saying in order for the user who staked the hex to get the COMM reward, in order for them to get that COMM reward, they gave you 20 times as much value in hex. Okay. So it's saying they staked 20 times as much value in hex as what they received back in COMM for doing a 15-year stake too, not just any stake, for 15-year stake only, the 5555. Okay. So this last column here is just basically saying, if there's $100, you balanced it out so that $100 of value came back to hex. So in this 5% coupon rate, you had 95% that you allocated to COMM, and then you threw 5% of your value into COMM. And when the user comes to claim the COMM, they take that 5% that you put up for them, but then they added 100 to the hex side, which would have grew your hex value. Okay. Now, where this becomes easy is this. As you climb up the coupon rates, so we climb from 5% to 10% to 15, 20, and we go all the way to 99. 100% doesn't make much sense. So I stopped it at 99 here. But once you get to 99%, I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. So once you get to 99%, look at what the allocation did. As the coupon rate went up, the allocations went up. And at the 99% coupon rate, the COMM allocation went to 99%. And then it only calls for 1% allocation to hex. That's where this becomes simple. Because what it's saying is, ultimately, the end game here is that everybody, the optimal thing to do is buy COMM, but then take 1% of what you purchased and buy hex with it. So what that does is you've now set up a system where you're doing automatic marketing because you're at such a high coupon rate. You're capturing new stakers and capturing new users, but you're also getting the value back because in order for them to capture 99% back, they had to give you 1% more on the hex side. And the reason it's simple is because once you are that high on the coupon rate, there's no thought process involved in, there's not a major thought process involved in how much to allocate, because you're always just going to say, if I have $100, I'm going to put $1 into hex and $99 into COMM. It's always just going to be 1% that goes to hex ultimately. Now, why would we want to focus the value going to COMM instead of hex? It's because you're not really doing that. Okay. You're doing that personally as you being part of the system already who wants to support the marketing. But the actual user that's coming in to claim this, they're actually focusing their value on the hex side because they're really just, as a new user, they're coming in and someone saying to them, hey, if you make a 15-year stake, you're gonna get almost all your money back. You're gonna get about 99% of your money back. So now you get a free 15-year stake that you basically have as like a gambling, not a gambling, but you have basically like a lottery ticket, basically, right? For 15 years. So once you're here, you've basically created a system that fuses Hex and COMM together. I call it the Hex-COMM fusion, because you really optimally should never just buy one of the coins. You should never just buy Hex or just buy COMM. You should buy both.
I'm going to admit it, Johnny. I'm confused.
Yeah. Well, if you're confused, here's what I'll tell you.
You know, I'm looking for the simple elevator pitch, and I haven't heard it on this yet. You know, I heard, hey, go get your free COMM. Okay, I always get my free coins. Always get my free coin. If I got free coins out there, I tell everybody, go get your free coins. Be careful where you get them. Make sure, you know. And like I said, this has stood the test of.
So the thing is, I'm pitching
this 5-minute elevator pitch that people can understand versus looking at all these charts and all of these things, because that's what people want to hear. There's so many things out there. I mean, I'm in the background working on some stuff with people also, and they're just so confusing. I mean, I understand we know this, like we can sit in the back and look at the tokenomics of things and see how perpetuals work and do all this stuff to make these coins extract and add value to one another. But what's the use case as far as bringing adoption, bringing people into the Hex ecosystem? What's the meat and potatoes of this, so that people can give it a quick 5-minute elevator pitch and understand it?
Yeah, so I would say when you're in crypto, what you want to do is you want adoption. Okay. What you need to do to get adoption is you need to do marketing, right? And so in all these other coins, you have hype men, you have, oh, the price went up so much, get in because you don't want to be late. You know, these are some of the marketing pitches you'll hear. You know, you'll see a price chart if you're on X. You know, you'll read some posts. Somebody posts a price chart, price is way up. They say, look at this coin, it went up a lot. You know, get in before it's too late. Those are the main pitches you hear, right? Like it's just get in because the price is going up, right?
Yeah, FOMO shit. I mean, that's what that stuff is.
Yeah, but what about when you have a coin that is the first coin ever that markets itself? So no coin does that. There's
well,
like
that's what needs to be explained. That's what needs to be explained. How does it market itself? What is the pitch that it makes that makes people want to go get Hex?
Yeah, so it markets itself because any value that goes into it becomes a stake, and it becomes a long-term one. And so when you are putting value into COMM, you are putting value into a marketing department, basically. So you know, I would look at it like this. I would say Hex is the product and COMM is the marketing for that product. So, you know, if you're saying when you have a product that you want to sell as a business, you don't want to just have that product. You want to also have money that you put into the marketing for the product. Okay. So you need to have that aspect of your business. You need to have the marketing for it. So what I'm telling you COMM does is when you put value into it and that value grows high enough, you're basically going to at some point meet a customer acquisition. So you're gonna meet your customer acquisition cost at some point. And with all these coupon rates that I have laid out here, we don't know what the customer acquisition cost is for Hex right now yet, because we haven't experimented with this yet. But at some point along this line, these are just prices, basically prices versus Hex. So the prices versus Hex get you to these levels, and we can go back to the price chart. right? So basically, as you climb this price chart, you're going to get to a point where you're going to reach an efficiency at some point. Okay. The efficiency that you're getting is you are onboarding stakers at such a high rate because of the value that goes into this and that they can claim, that you are continually burning hex. Okay. So you're getting hex burned off the market. It's going to show up in the stats. You're going to be able to see stats that the global average stake length is rising. You're going to be able to see that the number of stakes that are opening continues to rise. You're going to see that the amount of hex being staked continues to rise. And these are all stats we're going to be able to see. And right now, these are stats in hex that are declining. Right now, we have declining average stake lengths. We have a declining amount of hex being staked.
Yeah, definitely.
And those trends need to change if you want to have healthy liquidity in the system.
Yeah, and we were the marketing arm back then, teaching people how to stake. You know, it was all of us talking about how important staking was, what 15-year stakes meant to everybody as far as their, portfolio and retirement goals were concerned. If they were into crypto, then we had people staking like crazy. And then the bear market came here and people slowed down in staking. The sacrifices came. People even got slower in staking. And PulseChain launched. All these other products started coming out. People slowed down their staking. So it's just been getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, but why did it slow down though? There's a lot
of different things. And the marketing, like you said, the marketing is important. And the marketing hasn't been,
we just didn't gain adoption. We're not gaining enough adoption. If you look at the adoption curve, you can go to lookintohex.com and you can look at the adoption curve, and it's basically asymptoting, which is basically a chart that goes like that. I hope I'm doing the right hand here. But it basically, you start out with high demand and then that demand trickles over time. And that's what that chart looks like. It looks like a chart that started out with growing demand and then it's trickling down over time. And then for a cryptocurrency, breaking out of a trend of a declining user base is very hard to break out of. Mm-hmm. It's going to be very hard to break out of that. And I think that, when it comes to the word of mouth marketing, it only goes as far as your performance on your chart. So it's going to be hard to do word of mouth marketing for a price chart that's declining, for a staker base that's declining, for an average stake length that's declining. Mm-hmm. The word of mouth marketing is not going to be sufficient for us anymore. We need something else. Now, so there's a lot of different directions I can go with this. So if I there's a lot to this system. That makes it great, right? Because you can pay someone to do marketing, and then they'll stop once you stop. Once they just feel like stopping, right? Or they want to quit or whatever. But even then, it's like they have a conversion rate. So like if you hire someone to do marketing, they're going to have a certain conversion rate on that marketing, or you get an advertising banner on a website, and that banner is going to get a certain amount of clicks. Based on the amount of users who actually visit the website. And that rate of conversion is going to be like less than 1%, or it's going to be very poor, like less than 1% of 1%. Mm-hmm. And so those things are not enough. But guess what the conversion rate is on this?
It's got to be 100%, right? I mean, if it's...
So RG, you know this.
It's obvious if you're using the token, it's 100%.
Yes. Cryptocurrencies are only as useful as they are adopted. So we need to adopt a marketing system for Hex. We need to adopt this. So the conversion, RG, you got it right. The conversion rate is 100%. When have you ever heard of a 100% conversion rate in marketing before?
No, because it's set up to do so. I get it. I get what it's
you
doing.
You didn't get it.
It's no. I understand the gist of it, but I'm not understanding the pitch I'm not understanding how we're going to bring
The pitch
adoption.
is that it's a coin that markets itself.
Because bro, look, check this out. Fucking Doge mooned. It's garbage.
But it had
all
marketing.
these things, but these things go up not because people are being incentivized to do so. They're being hyped into it. They're being marketed into it a different way.
Yeah, but we have
what we do.
So okay,
or what's going on here.
So, all right. So yeah, it did get hyped, and that is how this stuff works, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the question you're asking is, how do we hype this? Right?
How do the whole ecosystem period, how do we really bring adoption to crypto? How do we really get people interested in the true value of these things that we have in our hands? Like this is creating real value by getting people into Hex and understanding what something that's turning a 38% APY can do for you in your life. Now, if the general, when I sat down as a young man and they showed me what a 401k was, I knew I had to do it because I was nowhere in, was I ever going to get a match on my money, even though it was a small percentage or whatever. And the risk gains were meh, I still knew I had to do it, and I did it. And masses of us adopted that. Now we've got something 100 times better here with Hex. We've got people trying to incentivize people to do so. How are we going to tap into those minds like when I was a young man getting into my first investment experience? How are we going to tap the masses with this without over confusing it? Because look, crypto's scary and confusing as it is. Even myself, I have problems speaking to the people about why and how they should get into this space. And I've been one of them, and I've been on the crypto side. In fact, I'm working with developers, helping them build stuff and helping them market and things of that nature. But I've also been on the other end where you don't know shit, you don't understand, you don't get it, but how do we get those? Because that's how this thing is really going to move. We're either going to just play with ourselves with what we've got here in crypto. We're going to pray and hope that the institutions bring massive amounts of money so that those of us who have, big enough bags can dump. Or we're going to go get the masses involved in crypto. And that's the only way that we're really going to get good adoption. We're going to get real price action. We're going to get good charts and good liquidity, because these institutions, they're coming in for a game. They're going to come in, they're going to play with it, and then they're going to exit, and they're going to leave everybody standing again like they've been doing every single time. So how do we get the masses involved in what the good products are? Because Richard made the first good product that has ever come to crypto and has a use case, and that's Hex. We now have an investment tool that's going to make APY, and everybody needs it. And now you guys are making things to market, incentivize, and bring people into that ecosystem. But we've got to make it simple, and we got to be able to talk to the real folks about it, because the institutions aren't buying your shit. They could care less. They can care less about Hex and all this stuff. They want to get their Bitcoin. They want to get the hype coin, whatever they can jump into and get people to buy in so that they could dump on their heads. That's what the institutions are doing. But real people getting involved in the Hex ecosystem is going to bring solid liquidity and solid value and solid up and to the right to this product, because it's valuable to people over time. And so I want to know how we're going to get to those folks. Because if we can't explain it to them simply, if we can't make the value statement and give it to them in 5 minutes so that they can understand it without all of this crypto freaking minutia, we're going to lose them. We got to figure out how to do that.
Yeah. So all of my onboarding experiences, where I personally onboard somebody that I know, when I recall those experiences, it's never about explaining why Hex is great. It's never about explaining the T-shares or the yield. It has always been, for me, about the performance. And I've been able to show the data in the performance. So not even just the price chart, but the number of opening stakes, the stake length increasing. So it's not a lot to it. It's really just data that people want to see, that they can quickly look at. You just have your phone in front of you, you show them a chart, then you show them some data. And it's really been simple for me in that way, where you show them a few data points, and if they see that the performance looks like it's trending upward, then they want in, and they don't really have any other questions asked. They just want in. So that's all my experiences. And so when it comes to how do we make this simple, I think the way that we make this simple is by us jump starting it as a community ourselves. And because once this thing starts actually trending upward, I think it'll be really hard for it to stop that upward trend. I mean, it's already showing that it's very difficult to stop the upward trend here. I mean, this right here since July, this is a 100x that it did versus Hex to where it is
Versus
right now.
Hex, yeah.
So you can see where it kind of starts, doing this pennant formation here. That pennant formation started forming after I revealed this thing as the secret weapon for Hex, because the mints went up by a massive amount. The number of mints after I revealed it went up by, we went from 75 quadrillion tokens in existence to now 92 quadrillion. So that's a increase. It's a 22% increase. So basically, the reason this thing even started going down is because it got 22% inflation in the matter of 2 months. And the reason it inflated is because I made everybody aware of it. So the inflation was the only thing holding this thing back, but now that inflation's slowing down. So I'm going to show you something else now too. Okay. Over here is the chart that shows how much mints are happening every day on this coin, right? So here's the full history. I'm bringing it up here. This is the full history, right? So this at this very beginning, that's a huge amount of mints that were done in the very beginning. And then look how fast it trickled down. So now I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit, right? Because I want you to see this. So it took like 20 days for this huge mass of inflation to happen when it first launched in January. That was like a 20-day period. And now, after that 20-day period, I'm going to zoom in a little more here. And now this is the new trend that it's been on since then. So you could see we have, the trickling down effect of the coins being minted. And then it kind of died out where there was no more mints happening in this little period in the middle here, right? But then when you get around here where it starts spiking up again, that's when I revealed this thing. So basically, I brought everybody's attention to it, and they thought, "Oh, I should have been minting that coin." And so then they all flood in and they mint the coin to the degree of 22% inflation in a matter of 2 months. But look what's happening now when I zoom in again. So I'll zoom into here.
So yeah, so most of those stakes had already gone in and minted, and now it's the inflation's dying out.
The inflation's dying out a lot. So look at these last few days, right? The last 4 days, there's basically no more people left minting to a large degree. This is, 20. Oh, and I'm supposed to get rid of some stuff here. So just a sec. So like this is just these last 4 days. They've basically ran out of the amount of money. So if I tell you the dollar amounts of this inflation, we're talking about like $500 worth per day. So over the course of like 365 days, it's going to be like $180,000 over a year, if the inflation is coming out to this degree that we've seen in the last 4 days. I think it's way less. I probably quoted way too high on the $500. But basically, what I'm trying to say is that, I'll go back to this. What I'm trying to say is this thing easily goes up in price. And the only reason it's not going up anymore, well, it slowed down because of the inflation that was coming out, but it just has there's no volume here.
Mm-hmm.
It takes like $1,000 to send this price chart up 10%. So what can we do as a community? We as a community already know this. So I know you're saying it's difficult. How are we going to market this to anybody? I think we start within the community, right? So I think we are the target audience for this until things change. And then so once the coupon rate is high enough to where we actually reach some efficiency with the amount of stakes that are being created because of this, or we reach some point where we actually realize that we've reached a staker acquisition cost. I'd like to interchange that with customer acquisition cost. You could have a staker acquisition cost with this. Basically, by the time we get there, you're going to see this look like a chart that just goes up and to the right.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you want to onboard new users, you show them a chart that's up and to the right. And it's like, okay, well, what else more is there to it is probably the next question. And it's like, well, this is the first cryptocurrency that has ever marketed itself and Hex. So that's why I look at it as one coin together, Hex and COMM together, as a fusion of the two coins, because it's marketing itself and it's marketing Hex. Because when the new user comes around and you tell them, hey, you have a free
Staking,
airdrop, then you're going to have to play with both of the systems. You're going to have to go in as the new user. You're going to have to go in and actually use Hex, go in and actually make a stake. And then you're going to have to actually go to the communist website. You're going to have to actually use the system to claim your COMM and then learn along that process how to work with the dexes and how to work with all this stuff. So it's actually forcing the hand of the user. And you really, like, if we market this to ourselves first as the Hex community first,
Mm-hmm.
and we jump.
Well, because we need to we need to formulate the narrative, and just like we formulated the narrative of what Hedron and ICOSA was to the T-share, that it basically validates the T-share and proofs the value of the T-share, and now communist needs to have its vernacular. What is it doing? What is it proofing? Is it the value of staking? Is that what it is? What is it? You got to have, like I said, you got to have these.
I have a couple of narratives for you.
Uh-huh.
Narrative number one.
Because again, I love supporting all of these projects that are being built on Hex and that aren't out there bilking the community and asking for money and all this. This is a free token. This is a token that people can mint on their own. I mean, of course, all tokens you can go and purchase if you want, but this is one that you extract the coin itself from committing the act of making a stake. And I mean, what's better than that, right? I mean, let's face it. That's good for the community. It's good for Hex. But the narrative has to be formed around it,
Yeah, to me, the narrative's simple, self-marketing system. So that's one narrative, right? And then the other narrative is, so as the Hex user who needs to come and support the system, you're asking yourself, why would I want to do this? Why would I want to buy this coin instead of staking Hex, right? And the reason you'd want to do that is because this system makes it so that if it's adopted, you are actually making certain stake lengths in Hex, you're making it obsolete. And the reason that it becomes obsolete is because this is capable of trending upwards along with the T-share rate. So the same way the T-share rate rises versus Hex, this has that same effect where the value is capable of rising along with the T-share rate. To the same degree. It's actually a one-to-one correlation. It's a literal one-to-one correlation. Now, because of that, you can actually look at what's the projected T-share rate rise versus Hex over the course of a year. And over the course of the next year, it's, let me see if I have that.
And what Mr. Chinnick said is, you know, in my opinion, it'll take time, and it's going to take time, but strong community working together.
I have a question. How much time do meme coins take to get traction?
They don't
Right?
take time because it preys on the very, very simple, basic freaking human, you know, it goes right down to that freaking fight or flight, that you know, push the button and get the reward. You know, that's where it comes from, is human beings just want to win. And it's just like the casino, pushing that button in a casino.
So why when
are.
But but that's the thing. This thing already did like a meme coin. It went up 100x versus Hex since July. And it's got liquidity. It's not like there's no liquidity. So and every $1,000, I believe, pushes this thing up 10%. So that's like meme coin action. That's like prime first week of launch meme coin action, where you can have a coin that's rising that fast. It's just it's really, to me, like it really is as simple as literally nobody's buying this thing. And so as long as you go from 0 to 1, you're going to see a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I mean, it's funny to me because this is like to me, this is the ultimate meme coin for hexagons. It's like you have something that's very underpriced versus Hex, when in actuality the design is such that it should actually have a higher liquid market cap than Hex. So the market cap right now is $1 million, but the market cap, if you're doing marketing optimally, should be higher than the liquid market cap of Hex. So that's, to me, that's meme coin right there. Like that's meme coin potential, where you can do, I mean, like I said, it did 100x since June or July till now. And actually more if you count since the bottom. I measured from here, not from here. And this is, you know, since the beginning of the PulseChain launch. And actually, if you go back to January since this launch, it's up since then too. So this is actually higher than when it initially launched. So basically, it's running at all-time highs, except it peaked out October.
Yeah, it did. Nice. Well, Johnny, I appreciate you giving it another shot here with me. I'm still, you know, trying to wrap my head around it, trying to figure out how to make this simple and understandable to people. I'm rooting for it. I mean, anything, like I said, that is given away for and incentivizing people to become part of the Hex ecosystem is, you know, all right by me, just like Hedron was, and what it has done for the system. And you know, I think all of these things have a long way to go, and proving themselves to us is one thing, but proving it to the rest of the, you know, crypto proving itself to the rest of the world, or DeFi space proving itself to the rest of the world is a whole nother thing, you know, because right now we're in for the fight of our lives, this next bull run with, you know, I think there's going to be a fracturing of crypto where the CeFi and DeFi spaces are going to start to separate from one another. Regulatory is going to, you know, thumb its nose up at probably DeFi and team up with or pair up with the CeFi space and give them the regulations that they're looking for, and bring in the institutional investors and whatnot. And then DeFi is going to be the ugly cash crypto space, you know, and we're in for a fight. And
yeah, but see, what better way to fight than this? What better way to fight than to create a storm of marketing that's doing itself automatically?
I agree. And when we can all understand that, when we can all wrap our heads around it and figure it out, I think that's when you're going to start to see some more community adoption. I mean, obviously it's not doing bad, but it does, it does need some thickness.
So a couple narratives for you. So I talked about the self-marketing. That's narrative number one. Narrative number two is that it can rise with the T-share rate rise versus Hex in a 1-to-1 correlation. T-share rate is projected right now over the course of 2024 to rise by 15%. So that beats a 1-year stake if COMM matches that year-over-year increase, which it should be easily capable of doing that according to its design. So that means it's beating a 1-year stake, but it's not just beating a 1-year stake. It's beating, in many cases, when you go down the line, it's beating a 2 and 3-year stake as well. So it actually can make some of those short-term stakes obsolete. Okay, so that's narrative number two is making short-term staking obsolete. Okay, so narrative number three would go in line with that, where you're promoting a rising average stake length. Another narrative, and this is actually the key narrative. This is the top narrative, is brute forcing profitability. So with this system, you can virtually brute force profitability, and I have something I can show where it does that, where you can see how you do that. But if what I showed already was too complicated, then that's going to be more complicated. So maybe
let's hold that for another time. Let me wrap my head around this. No, I appreciate you, Johnny, and we're at the 2-hour mark, so I'm getting ready to shut the show down anyway. But no, you've been helpful in explaining it to me. You've sent me lots of DMs and helped me out. Early on when this first launched. So I appreciate you. And like I said, I'm rooting for it. I hope that it does help, and I hope that it can get thicker. And, all these things that are being built right now are eventually going to be the core of the DeFi space. Hex and Pulse are proof that DeFi can exist now. And, with the launch of PulseChain, now everybody can do it. It's not just Richard that did it with Hex. Now everybody can go out and do their own things and build them and make them better. I'm not saying that Hex is going to be the greatest thing that ever comes out. There's going to be things that are going to be built on it that are going to be great. But it is the core product, and it is the thing that was, just like Bitcoin, it was the beginning. And now we're going to see DeFi blossom and products be built around the T-share and all these other things. And no, I'm rooting for them. So thanks for coming, Johnny. I'm gonna call it a night. Thank you, everybody, for coming. We will catch you on Monday. I believe I'm going to have the Project Pi guys on, and then we've got an actual interview with the presidential candidate. All right, everybody, have a good one. We'll catch you on the next one. See ya.